Hello. In this video, we are going to learn how we can use email verification services to validate and correct first and last names. We have 4 services available. The first one allows us to detect the gender of a name and determine if it is a first name or a last name, and it provides us with the probabilities of usage for that name. The second service allows us to correct it, meaning if we have errors in a first or last name, it will correct them and provide us with the probability of usage in different countries. The third service would be the one that allows us to autocomplete, meaning if we have a form, as we type, it will suggest names that fit within those letters we have been entering. This helps eliminate errors and speeds up data entry. And we have a fourth service that extracts the information of a first and last name from a text string. We use this mainly in emails. If we want to know the first and last name from an email, we use this service. I'm going to show you through method A, which makes the most sense, because you will likely want to connect this with your CRM or connect it to a database or a file. First, let's look at the one that allows us to detect what would be the first name, last name, and detect the gender. All we need to do is enter it into the API. The text we want to verify. In this case, I am providing a last name, and it is giving me the probability of usage for that last name, as it is a name from the northern region of Spain. You see it is distributed between Spain and France, and it gives us the usage ranking of that name. If I had entered a first name, for example, I am going to search. In this case, it is telling me that it is a man, because it is a man's name. It is also telling me the probability of usage for that name, as I was saying, since it is between Spain and France, it has these probabilities. And here, the probability indicates that it belongs to a man, which would be almost 100%. As I was explaining before, if we have, for example, a first name and a last name altogether, we might want to separate them. Imagine that instead of having this. We only have the email address. It would come to us in the email, and we simply make the call to the PIP. And it gives us the probability, or how we can separate that string to obtain the first name and last name. I will show it graphically. It's the same. This would be the JSON that the PIP has given us. As you can see, it is distinguishing that it is a name. It is giving me what it would be. The probability of use, as I mentioned before, this is a name that is between Spain and France. It's uncommon, as you can see here. And what would be the part of the last name? The same. It is giving me the probabilities of use and the ranking within the countries. All right. What else do we have? We also have the service of what would be the fuzzy search. This would be a service that allows us to correct a first name or a last name. Let's imagine that we have this here. As you can see, one part is in uppercase, another in lowercase. We can tell it that it is a name and the country it belongs to. This information, if we don't have it, it's okay. What happens is that it will allow us to be much more precise. Search. As you can see, here it has detected for me that information, and what it is telling me is that based on the string I provided, the most probable name is Isabella. And the next one would be Isabella with a ranking, as you can see, quite distant. That's why it's important if you have the country information. Okay, this allows us to adjust much more. That usage. The topic of autocomplete would be something similar. Okay, for example, if we have a name that we have halfway, we have Isa. Similarly, we are saying that it is a Peri, which is from Spain. This is optional. Okay, if we don't include it, nothing happens. The only thing is that it is much more precise. We provide those initials of Isa. It is telling me that the most probable name would be Isadel. There is another one that would be Isa, and it stays there. What happens is that within the overall ranking, it is further away. Well, that's about it for the name verification services. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, you can contact us through the website. We will inform you on how you can use them.